Excuse me? Excuse me, sir. How do I get to King Street?
Oh, dude, I love this stuff. I'm listening to the Stix.
Welcome to the Stix Podcast, episode 2. We're gonna jump right in here. As stated before, I'm Drew.
And I'm Aiden.
Yeah, yep. All right, so we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get started right now. All right, so we're gonna start off with our favorite teams. This isn't mine, so I'll let Aiden take this one.
All right, so NC State this weekend played Virginia on, I believe, Friday, and let's just say it was not a pretty game. NC State favored by a lot of points. Let's be honest, Virginia sucks. Virginia is now 0-4. Thank God NC State won, but NC State was favored by a lot, and nothing was working. Brennan Armstrong couldn't get anything going in the air. We had no run game, and it really came down to Kevin Conception, as you see pictures on the right. He had 2 receiving touchdowns, over 100 yards. And yeah, I mean, NC State only won by a game-winning field goal. It was kind of disappointing. So
24-21 in that game.
Yeah.
Coming over to the next one here. UNC versus Pitt. UNC gets the 41-24 win, and yes, we did in fact cover the spread, but the second half just was kind of pitiful. I mean, we put it on them in the first half. In the second half, we just couldn't do anything a whole lot offensively. Picture on the left there, Elijah Huzzy, he had 2 picks and a punt return for a touchdown. So yeah, I mean, UNC is they have a bye this upcoming week, and then we play a tough, scrappy Syracuse team. So, yep.
all right, App State versus Wyoming. What a heartbreaker! 2 minutes left in the game. App State is up 19-14. Go to kick a field goal, and Wyoming blocks it. They block it. They block it and return it to the house and get the 2-point conversion. It puts Wyoming up 22-19. App State gets the ball back, and they start driving. Pass interference in the end zone gets us all the way into the red zone. First play in the red zone, Wyoming sends like 7 rushers at Joey Aguilar. He panics, he throws it up, it gets picked off. What a heartbreaker.
Didn't the quarterback have for Wyoming 37 passing yards?
Wyoming's quarterback, 5 for 15, 31 passing yards.
31 passing yards.
We had almost double,
lost that game?
We had almost double their total yards. We had 27 first downs to their 7, and we still somehow managed to lose.
That's
with
crazy.
2 minutes left, we had a 96% chance to win, and 15 seconds later, it flipped all the way down to a 99% chance for Wyoming.
That is absurd.
Yeah. So another heartbreaker, but it's all right. We move on. We play UL Monroe this upcoming week.
Anyway, talk about ECU here.
I was going to say, I want to talk about this ECU game.
Fine. I mean,
what I noticed when I was looking at the statistics, I mean, it was 44-0, which is crazy. But if you look at the box score, the run game was crazy. There was 5 rushing touchdowns that ECU had. And then they had 3 different quarterbacks play, which is kind of absurd. But Gardner-Webb fumbled 5 times.
A lot. Yeah, a lot of ECU's points were off of short field touchdowns because Gardner-Webb kept on fumbling the ball. I mean, they just couldn't. They had butter on their fingers. They could not hold on to the ball.
ECU put up 44 points on under 400 total yards.
Yeah.
And Gardner-Webb had 107 total yards. Which is horrible.
I mean, that's crazy that they they put up 40. I mean, especially the way they've looked, this ECU has looked this year. I mean, they haven't been that great. 0-3 going into that game, looking bad in pretty much all of them. But a 44. I mean, it is an FCS opponent. In Gardner-Webb, they should have won that game, but 44-0 is a good statement win. I mean, that's
Especially
that
for a
don't
winless team.
in front of the Greenville crowd.
All right. We'll go back to Charlotte game. I didn't realize I skipped it at first.
Oh, that's cool. Not much, like I said, not much to talk about.
Besides
You
this
see,
crazy catch.
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw this and I freaked out.
I,
But
wa-
then
I
again,
watched
I was also um very surprised with how close the game was, especially towards the end of the game.
I was surprised Charlotte was able to stay in it for most that time.
Yeah,
But I mean, I knew they probably weren't going to pull it out.
yeah.
Um,
One thing I do want to touch on about is Graham Mertz, the Florida quarterback, very consistent,
mhm.
20 for 23.
Yeah,
Does that
that's
does that does that say something about Graham Mertz, or does
no.
that say something about
Mm-mm.
Charlotte's defense?
That probably says something on Charlotte's defense. If you didn't know, two of the four main corners for Charlotte actually come from UNC. And we all know how good UNC's DBs are. In case you don't, they aren't. They are not very good. Um, Dede Hollins and Dante Balfour, who I actually thought were pretty good. But Graham Mertz, I will tell you, is not very consistent. I personally, he comes from Wisconsin. Personally, I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. But I mean, he's been aight this year. Um, but no, I don't think that that Florida doesn't cover the spread against Charlotte and then like gets to go up in the rankings. I don't see how that makes sense. But we'll touch on that later in these top 25 rankings.
The big
Big
games
games.
of this past college football week. First game, Florida State versus Clemson. What a game. What a
It
game.
was really good.
Clemson keeping it close the entire time.
I mean,
Very,
but you expected
very
that.
exciting game. Yeah, the spread was only 4 points.
I
You know,
mean, they
like
Clemson.
yeah, the spread was only 4 points. Almost covered the spread, almost won, took them to overtime. Florida or Clemson was winning for most of the game too. I checked this, I kept keeping up with the
Hmm.
score, and it was 10-0, 17-7. Like
Yeah.
it was good. I guess Jordan Travis just had to step up.
I
Finished with
mean, Death Valley.
21 completions for 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Florida State could not get the game go or the run game going though. They had 22 total rush yards.
For the whole game?
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to say, Death Valley is not an easy place to go into, regardless of if Clemson is ranked dead last in the NCAA or first. I mean,
Yeah.
the fans are crazy over there. It's a hard place to go into. So I didn't expect Florida State to come in and make them look like they were nothing. And they didn't. It was like we said, it was a close game, all throughout. But Keon Coleman, getting that head tap on a Clemson DB in overtime, did.
Yeah.
Nah,
All right. Next game, Colorado versus Oregon. Oh my God.
but
Like
we said it. We said it last week. Let's be honest. We're not surprised by the outcome. I knew it'd be bad. I didn't think it'd be this bad. If I'm being
I didn't know
brutally
it'd be this
honest.
bad. At the end of the first half, Oregon had 35 and Colorado had less than 35 total yards.
Yeah, they had 21 yards in the first half, but
Like,
like we said, we expected that.
yeah.
I
And
mean, Bo
yeah,
Nix,
it was bad.
Bo Nix comes out 276 yards, four total touchdowns. He did have the one interception, but I mean, what does it matter? It was like they were up 35-0. And
Yeah.
something that is very prevalent through the Pac-12 this weekend was the line of scrimmage. D line is very important, and this game, as well as the Utah UCLA game, showed that.
Yeah, didn't
Should have said,
Shador get sacked like 7 times, 6, 7 times?
I don't know how many times it was, but he was under pressure a lot of that game, and he just was uncomfortable. Nothing he could do. The defensive line of Oregon was getting to the quarterback. Linebackers like DJ Ungel. I don't know the Oregon State quarterback. I butchered his name last week. I felt so bad.
DJ
But
Uyangale.
yeah, his brother plays for Oregon. He had a pass breakup. It's a couple quarterback rushes. So I mean, just the Oregon defense showing out, and the Oregon offense doing what we knew Bo Nix could do, which was destroy. So
Oregon's
like I've touched on.
or, Oregon's really good.
Yeah,
Oregon's good.
that
High
Oregon is
power
really
offense, high power offense, and they could stop Colorado, would seem to be a good offense. So
yeah, and I don't want to hear anyone say that it wasn't because they had Travis Hunter, because it wouldn't have mattered if they had Travis Hunter or not. Uh, they wouldn't have won the game. Maybe they get one more stop and one more touchdown. So maybe
35-14.
yeah 35-14
Still a
maybe that
blowout.
happens. Still a blowout.
All right.
Not a
Next game.
blowout.
Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Super defensive, super competitive game.
Yup.
I was watching this on Saturday night after I sadly had to watch App State lose, but
I cannot lie, I
Notre
was not. Watching
I
Carolina.
saw the very end of the game,
Uh-huh.
and Ohio State they just stuck with it. They didn't give up. They couldn't score really at all in the second half, and Notre Dame was putting up like some points, but
Yeah, they
when it
didn't score in the
mattered,
first half.
Ohio State took the ball, put it in the end zone with 1 second left.
Yeah, that I mean, it iced that game. Did you see that Notre Dame
Yeah,
had 10 guys in the field the last two plays of the game?
yeah.
Crazy.
Notre Dame was asking to lose that game.
I mean, I at the end of the day, if there's anything that teams of the Eagles have shown, no one can stop the tush push or any of those types of plays.
Yeah.
So I don't think one extra guy would really help in that situation. But you never know. I mean,
Did you see where the one guy was missing at?
no, where is he missing?
He was on the right side of the defensive line, which is exactly where they ran.
Oh, I don't know, maybe. But then again, that comes with a good running back like Jadon Henderson finding the hole.
Yeah.
He had 14 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. The last second touchdown, that is. So I mean, he's a quality running back.
Yeah.
Make sure to look for his name on the draft board this upcoming year.
Yes, sir. All right. This game, Alabama versus Ole Miss. We thought
Proved me
Alabama
wrong.
was gonna lose.
Yeah, proved me wrong.
We thought Nick Saban had lost his team.
Nope.
We were sadly mistaken. They kind of dominated 24-10, only giving up 10 points to a nationally ranked team is
An offense
impressive.
that I thought was pretty good. I mean,
Exactly.
I thought they were pretty good. A lot of I was watching College Game Day. A lot of those guys thought that Ole Miss was gonna win that game. I mean, Jada Milroe, kind of takes, in the words of Deion Sanders, he took it personally, and went out there only threw 4 incompletions for 200. He was 17 for 21 with 225 and a touchdown. He did have a pick. Yeah, but he ran 16 times only for 28 yards. But I mean, he's a dual threat type of quarterback. And then he's fixture on the left, and on the right, Jace McClellan, 17 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown, and he actually averaged about half a first down per rush. He had 6.2 yards per carry. So I mean that's effective running against the Ole Miss defense. So yeah, I mean 24-10, Alabama shuts up the haters. Aiden and I included, and gets the win. moves on next week.
Washington State versus Oregon. What a game.
What a game.
Oregon State. Oregon State almost comes back, scoring 21 in the fourth quarter,
Yeah, I saw that.
but Washington State holds on. Cameron Ward,
Yup.
crazy game, 404 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Five
That is
touchdowns. He hit one of his legs.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
Yep.
Cameron Ward, statement game, big numbers, big win against another ranked opponent.
Oregon State, a good team. I talked high about him last week.
Yeah, Wazoo gets a good win, and
Kyle Williams.
this guy on the right, Kyle Williams. Look at this monster catch. This was not the only one-handed snag he had of the game.
Looks like he's having a little jersey tug there, but he's also making that Oregon State guy stiff arm his own teammate. It looks like.
Yeah. Kyle Williams with a crazy game. He ended with 7 catches, 174 yards, and a touchdown. Last week, you heard Drew's Heisman watch. But although we did have the same Heisman watch, this week
Yeah.
it's Aiden's Heisman watch. Just my opinion. Well, I look at numbers, I look at teams, figure out who I like.
Keep in mind, I haven't seen this list yet.
Number 5, Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is doing nothing but produce. Over 1,000 yards already, no turnovers, 9 touchdowns, and he has Texas at 4-0, including a win over Alabama. And it's not like they play anyone bad either. They played Wyoming, they played Texas. Who did they just play?
Baylor.
Baylor's not a bad opponent either.
Oh.
All right, number 4, Cameron Ward.
Let's go.
He's going to be on here later. He sneaked his way into my Heisman watch. Almost 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And he's got Washington State at 4-0 and ranked nationally, like top 15, I believe.
I don't know. We'll see.
Cameron Ward is showing out this year, and we love to see it. Number 3, Bo Nix. Bo Nix, 1,169 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick, and has Oregon at 4-0. And he just shut everyone up.
He did. But we knew he was good.
We knew he was good. But did you see what Oregon's coach said at the beginning of the game? He said, Colorado's fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. And then they took Colorado and they threw him around like a rag doll.
As Dion said, good old butt kicking is what that game was.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, Michael Penix Jr. Look at that amount of yards. Are you kidding me? That is a crazy amount of yards for only being 4 weeks into the season. 1,636 yards, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions, not that awesome. But 16 touchdowns and 1,600 yards already.
I mean,
that is a crazy pace. He's averaging over 400 yards a game, 4 touchdowns a game, and
Washington has a serious case of possibly a number one team overall. I mean, they got a vote in the AP poll for number 1. Someone had number 1 Washington. So Washington is a quality team. Michael Penix is the leader on that team.
And I don't know about you guys, but I will take a 4 to half an interception ratio.
Yeah.
And he's got Washington sitting at 4-0, and they're a top 10 team in the nation.
Yep.
Number 1 comes as no surprise. Same as last week, Caleb
Williams. Yep.
1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, and no picks. That's what I like to call a ratio, okay? USC sitting at 4-0, and I believe they're 5th in the nation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they have a serious chance to be national champions this year.
They're 6th. They dropped one after a win. I thought it was really weird.
Yeah.
They dropped more, and I was like, that's weird to me. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But one of the things I really like about college football this year is there's no clear-cut Heisman frontrunner.
Yeah.
There's no clear-cut college football playoff teams. Like
there's so many good teams.
There's an unbelievable amount of teams that could make it. All right, moving on. The AP Top 25 poll.
Y'all,
Anything you like or dislike?
can you talk about how Florida is behind Tennessee after destroying them 2 weeks ago? I don't even think
Yeah,
Tennessee should be in this poll. I said that last week. I don't think Tennessee should be in this poll, but I don't think that they should be ahead of them. Um,
yeah,
something I like to I like to see is Oregon moving up. Um,
yeah.
after beating who everyone thought was a good um Colorado team. But if I'm being honest, there's a lot more to dislike about this AP poll than there is to like, because why is Georgia one? Who have they played? They've
Okay, but
played.
to be fair, Georgia hasn't like shown any reason why they shouldn't be one. They don't really have any like big wins,
Yeah,
but neither does Michigan,
yeah.
and
I don't
Michigan's
know.
too, which is why I think it's so cool that literally I think any team from 1 to 12 could make the
Well,
college football
but
playoff, and then you could get some teams like Washington State that sneak in. Maybe Miami makes a run, you know?
mhm. Yeah, Washington State, in my opinion, should be higher after winning. I mean, they have two ranked wins.
Yeah,
Not a lot of teams on this AP poll can say that.
yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts about the top 25? What do you like? What do you dislike?
I'm looking at Fresno State's schedule right now.
Uh-huh.
Who have they played? They played Purdue, who's I guess decent, but then they went to double overtime against Eastern Washington.
I think that more comes with preseason rankings. I guess they probably had them pretty high preseason wise.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean that's kind of like the same. They got yeah. I mean I don't know,
they
to
haven't
be
even
honest
really
with
played
you.
anyone good. They beat Arizona State and then they beat Kent State.
Yeah.
And I mean, their schedule isn't that hard either. They got Nevada, Wyoming, Utah State. Like these are upcoming games. They don't play a single ranked opponent. Louisville, NC State. Louisville, super surprising ACC team this year. 4-0. They're going into Raleigh, into Carter Finley, and they're playing
Hmm.
what I like to say is a scrappy NC State team. I mean, their games aren't pretty, but they come out with a win,
No.
except Notre Dame. Notre Dame, really good squad, by the way. Um, yeah, Louisville. Honestly, I haven't really looked into Louisville, but um, Louisville is turning heads. Honestly, here, let's look them up real quick. They
You
got
on
Georgia
Jack
Tech,
Plummer?
Murray State, Indiana, and Boston College all under their belt. They killed Boston College, something Florida State can't say. Yeah, in the last week, Jack Plummer put up 388 yards and 5 touchdowns,
Mm.
and then the running back Jawar Jordan put up 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh,
Wow.
speaking of the devil, Jack Plummer also got a rushing touchdown, so we had 6 total touchdowns. Whereas, as I said earlier, NC State struggled against a winless Virginia team.
I
Yeah,
mean, only putting up 24 on Virginia is just not acceptable. But
yeah,
I feel like MJ Morris has the ability to and that comes with I don't think they lost a lot of weapons this year. State did.
yeah.
Um, ultimately, I'll cut to the chase. I'm going Louisville. But I feel like if they make a quarterback switch at halftime, if it's not too out of hand, they might eke one out. We'll see.
Either way, I miss Devin Leary. On to the next one. App State versus UL Monroe. They are 2-1.
They are.
Yeah, they're gonna get killed this week. Last week they lost to Texas A&M 47-3.
Ooh,
Um, last time I checked, they also don't got a Nate Noel on their team. So
yeah.
just keeping it short, sweet. App State, big App State guy. New Armani Edwards jersey, by the way. App State by a million. Thoughts?
I'll go App State. Not by a million, but I'll go App State.
It'll be pretty close. Anyways, next game. Oh, big games
for the upcoming week.
for the upcoming week. Utah versus Oregon State. Talk to them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Oregon State coming off a close loss to Washington. They're gonna be hungry. My boy DJ
Uyangale.
Uyangale is looking for revenge. The team is gonna be hungry. But they have a tough Utah team coming to town. Cam Rising, I haven't heard any injury reports on him, but if he plays in this game, the offense can be looking good. We know what the defense can do. They held a Chip Kelly offense to 7 points last week. 7. Of course, they only scored 14, but like I said, if Cam Rising is in the game, they might have an offense. We know the defense is good. We know that that they're gonna come into town and probably gonna win. I think Utah is gonna get the win. I think the defense is just like that. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Oregon State might give them a little test. But I think that folks, you should tune into this game. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Like Drew said, their defense is spectacular. Only gave up 7 points to UCLA, but I kind of think Oregon State's I mean, obviously they're a different team than UCLA. UCLA now unranked, but I think Oregon State's definitely like a better team. They have a better offense. DJ Uyangale actually looks really good, aside from his past years at Clemson.
Hey.
I don't want to say I'm picking an upset, but because I mean Oregon State's favored in this game, 58%. But
I didn't know they were favored. I didn't look at the lines. Are they really favored?
Yeah, they're favored.
Wow, it's probably because they're at home.
Probably. I want to pick an upset. Oregon State over Utah.
All right, sounds good.
Next game, Kansas versus Texas.
What won't be chef's kiss is when they travel to Texas and get trounced. That will not be that will not be very nice. I like Kansas, but they're gonna get destroyed. I think Quinn Ewers puts 400 on them with like 5 tutties. Xavier Worthy 3 receiving touchdowns. Book it. Number 3 Texas gets the win over number 24 Kansas.
Next game, LSU versus Ole Miss.
This one's a close one. It's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. LSU has a really hard schedule coming up. They got, I mean, obviously they have Ole Miss, and then they got Missouri, and then 2 weeks after that they have Alabama and Florida. They have a tough schedule coming up.
So they need this win bad.
Yeah, and if they want to stay in contention for anything, honestly.
I think if you're at home cooking up a parlay, I think you stay away from this game.
I mean this game's hard to choose.
This one's gonna be hard to choose. Since we our job, this is our job, we have to choose. I think I'm gonna for the second week in a row go Ole Miss. I'm gonna die on that hill.
Ole Miss is
if I'm
favored.
wrong, I'm wrong.
Ole Miss
Are
is
they
favored.
now?
Yep, 56%. I don't know if you call that a favorite, but
yeah, I want to see what Vegas has in that. But yeah, I think Ole Miss gets, I guess, an upset. They are lower ranked. I think they win this game.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Yeah, I'm gonna go LSU. Yeah, going with LSU this week. So
yep. Sam Hartman he dropped out of our Heisman ranks this week. He's looking probably to get. I know he's watching, so he's looking to get back in the Heisman rankings. And then Riley Leonard, having a little sneaky, not a Heisman year, but I mean his team is good and he's playing good. So he's having a good year over there. I think this is a really hard. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than maybe the naked eye thinks. Call me crazy. I'm a UNC fan. I know I'm a UNC fan.
Don't say it.
I think Brian Leonard and Duke pulled this one out. It's at Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham.
What is wrong with you?
I believe the hype. I believe the hype.
True.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry, Papa and Nanny. I'm sorry, Grandma and All my UNC fans out there. I'm very, very sorry. I'm very sorry. I hate Duke basketball. I never picked them in my life, but Duke football, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, and I think Duke wins this game.
Oh my God.
Give me the Devils.
I mean, although last week wasn't that great, they played the sixth best team in the nation.
Don't sleep on Duke's defense. Don't sleep.
Duke hasn't really had any competition since Clemson week 1. I think Notre Dame's gonna kill them. I really do.
All right.
I mean, you like to talk about Duke's rush game. Notre Dame's got Audric Estime.
Fair.
Your Heisman dark horse from last week. Is he still your Heisman dark horse?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Speaking of rushing to wrap off the college football segment, we wanted to show y'all a crazy run that happened this weekend. In the Air Force game, John Lee Eldridge, Notre Dame. Air Force is obviously going to win this game pretty much, but
yeah,
I'll let the clip show itself. Oh my Lord. That was just my gosh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out my Uncle Rocky. Played center at Air Force. Crazy.
All right. Going into the NFL segment. These are the power rankings. My power rankings.
His power rankings. Once again, have not seen them. I'm blind reaction to these, just like y'all are.
Drew's got a blind reaction to my top 10 in the NFL. Number 10, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys say. They're 1 and 2. I don't care. I really don't.
I had them at 10. So
yeah, I really don't care. The Chargers consistently put up numbers every week. Justin Herbert putting up numbers. Averages it's like a 75% completion on the year. All right, moving on to number 9, the Cincinnati Bengals. They squeak one out against the Rams, who are honestly not a bad team. The Bengals actually showed up.
Joe Burrow didn't have a passing touchdown. I mean,
Joe Burrow continues his disappointing season.
He's my fantasy quarterback, and that's what it mattered this week. My team scored 44.3 points. Woo! Clap it up for the boys.
All right, moving on. Number 8, the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
They get a big win this week against, who did they play?
They played the Falcons.
Against the Falcons, an undefeated Falcons team. Bijan looks really good. Tyler Algier looks really good.
They did not look very good last Sunday, though.
They did not look very good against the Lions.
Sam Laporta looking crazy.
Dude, they got Aiden Hutchinson playing offense. I'm just kidding.
No, they look crazy similar. They look crazy similar. With a helmet on, they look crazy similar.
I saw the meme. That's the only reason I thought of that. Anyways, Jared Goff continues to be really
pretty good quarterback.
Pretty good in Detroit. And
yup.
Lions are still running off that hype and that steam from the end of last year. Dan Campbell's a great coach. I said last week, I'll say it again. I love Dan Campbell. Great coach. He'll bite off anyone's kneecap. All right. Number 7, the Dallas Cowboys.
Speaking of torn ACL.
I had him at I
had him at 2. I had him at 2
last week.
I had him at 2 last week.
they drop a game to the Cardinals of all teams, like the team that was projected to go 0-17. They drop a game to
Yeah.
Joshua Dobbs and the Cardinals. Credit to Joshua Dobbs. He looks really good. Really, really good. I don't know. Like, I didn't watch the game. I just saw the final score and the numbers.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott looked like last year.
Well, one of my buddies said that that if they didn't do this was before the game, that if they didn't do well, they could excuse it on Trevon Diggs torn ACL, and
Injuries
I
are
was
no
like,
excuse.
injuries are no excuse. Shout
Yeah.
out Canyon.
You have arguably the best
Yeah.
defensive player in the NFL, and Micah Parsons. You could argue T.J. Watt, but no one cares.
Yeah.
Micah
Anyway.
Parsons was not a threat against the Cardinals. Are you kidding me?
The season is young. If you're a Cowboys fan like Canyon sitting at home, do not fret. The season is not over. It's only one loss. Dan Quinn is a great defensive coordinator. He'll figure it out. It's just that Josh Dobbs is an elite level quarterback, and I mean, can't it's hard to stop him.
Yeah.
So,
and tough week coming up for the Cowboys against my New England Patriots. Mac Jones.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Mac Jones going to show them what's good. All right, number 6, Baltimore Ravens. Although they do drop a game
to a surprisingly good Colts team.
The Colts are kind of surprising. Anyways, I still think Zay Flowers really good. Lamar Jackson really good. I mean, unfortunately, another team riddled by injuries every year. J.K. Dobbins every year.
Well, yeah. I mean, Ravens still really good. I think 6 is a fair ranking for him.
Okay, number 5, the Buffalo Bills.
Shout out Mama Palmer.
Oh my God,
for the Buffalo Bills.
My mom got on me last week for not talking about the Bills, and I have to.
We have to give them love.
They killed them. They killed them.
They killed the Commanders.
They kicked the field goal with 50 seconds left just to avoid a shutout. Let's be honest. The Commanders are not good. They could have fooled us with that 2-0 record last week, but after that 37-3 loss, they're not fooling anyone.
I don't know. They beat the Broncos, who we'll talk about here in a second.
All right, number 4, the Philadelphia
Eagles.
But Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another undefeated team, 2 undefeated squads going up against each other. You know how it'd be. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. Someone's going to leave happy, someone's going to leave a little sad. They might cry a little bit. Anyways.
I'm sure Baker did.
Baker probably did. Jalen Hurts, he did have 2 picks. Whatever.
Yeah.
He had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. DeAndre Swift, again, give him the rock. 130 rushing yards, no touchdowns, but he averaged 8 yards a carry.
Hurdle over Antoine Winfield.
Yeah. And A.J. Brown, 9 catches, 131 yards. The Eagles have weapons everywhere. They have a crazy defense. They have a really, really, really good rookie class, especially with Jalen Carter.
That punch out.
Like, teams are making game plans for Jalen Carter, and he's literally 3 games deep into his NFL career. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. God, the Bears go into Arrowhead with Taylor Swift 41-10. The Bears need to shake off that loss and move on to the next game. Oh my God. 41-10? The Bears had not won a game since last October.
Yeah, it is.
We are 4 days away from October. The Bears have almost not won a game in a whole year.
Calendar year. Yes.
Calendar year. All right.
Anyway.
Number 2, the Miami Dolphins. I know I really badly wanted to put them at 1. I really, really did. But the team I have at 1.
There's 70 reasons to put them at 1.
No.
Seriously.
I just don't think I can put them over the team I have at 1. Dolphins undefeated, scored 70 points, which is the most points scored in an NFL game since 1966.
Yeah, I wish. how I wish we could hit a flashback moment to last week when Aiden said, "Let's talk about how Drew is the Dolphins at 3." This is why I have the Dolphins at 3. They looked insane.
Moving on, number 1. You probably could have guessed
Then
it. The San
Niners,
Francisco
yeah.
49ers.
Honestly,
beat-
they don't look the best. If I'm being honest, they did win.
Okay, but they don't need to. They just need to
They
stop.
don't need
They
to.
just they have
It's like Georgia.
they have the best defense in the NFL, no doubt.
That defense is crazy, and the offense is arguably even better. I mean, I don't know. Brock
Christian
Purdy,
McCaffrey
Mr.
puts up
Relevant, is
numbers.
very relevant. Christian McCaffrey has scored a touchdown in the last, like, what? Was it 12 games, 13 games?
Something like that.
Something like that. They have Deebo Samuel, who is pretty good. Is a good player at the backfield.
No, I mean they're amazing, both sides of the ball. They haven't given me a reason not to put them at 1. All right, next segment, the Week 3 overview. I chose some of my favorite games, the close ones, the good ones.
I love this game. I love this game.
No bias games. If you're wondering if that means the Patriots game and the Panthers game are not on here.
Yeah.
All right,
because
game 1.
Those.
The Saints are down, or sorry, the Packers are
The
down.
Packers are down
17-0 in the 4th quarter.
And they win.
The Packers score a field goal, get some points on the board, something slight.
Yeah.
Then they go down, they score a touchdown, they go for 2 then.
Yeah.
Then they get it. They're 17-11.
Then they get the
Packers
ball back.
go down. Jaden Reed with 2 touchdowns, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
I think he had the go-ahead touchdown to put them up 18-17. Packers willed their way back into this game, and they come out with a win. All right. Game number 2, Chargers-Vikings. We were talking about the Chargers earlier.
Yeah.
Number 10 in my power rankings, the battle of the arguably some of the best. Number 2 and 3
at the time.
Best 0-3 team or 0-2 teams, sorry.
You're good.
The Chargers go into Minnesota. Not only do they put up numbers, they were getting tricky with them. Screen pass to Keenan Allen goes deep to Mike Evans.
Mike Williams.
Mike
You're
Evans.
good. You're
Mike
good.
Williams.
You're good.
Mike Williams. Are you kidding me?
Both are really physical receivers. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. They have the same build. Anyways, Justin Jefferson puts up numbers. Keenan Allen puts up numbers. Justin Herbert puts up numbers.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins puts up numbers. 2 very high-powered offenses.
Yeah. Scoring.
What a game.
Yeah, right. It was crazy.
Next game, I chose Colts Ravens. The lone overtime game out. Minshew Mania is back. Honestly,
he never left.
I don't know. He doesn't want to give back. He doesn't want to give up his starting job. He looked really good out there, competing with a tough Ravens defense. Granted, tough Ravens defense while they're missing like all of their best defensive players, including Marlon Humphrey. But I mean, the Ravens still aren't a joke. I have them at 6, I believe, in the power rankings.
Yeah.
Minshew Mania comes in, wrecks the house. I mean, it was competitive all the way through. I saw Justin Tucker miss a field goal this week.
Granted,
What is going on?
It was via power. It was not. He didn't miss accuracy wise. He pertains that title as the most accurate kicker.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the win conditions were, so it could have. I'm just a Justin Tucker lover at the end of the day. So
everyone loves a good kicker.
So I don't know, but speaking of good kickers, Matt Gay, 5 for 5 on field goals for the Colts. It's the game winner.
Yeah.
Crazy game.
Yep. Next game. Oh my God. The Broncos have 70 reasons to completely rebuild.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was bad. I mean, they would rebuild if they didn't give up first round picks to the Seahawks for that man right there. Russell Wilson. It was horrible. I thought the Broncos defense was their strong point.
I did too, and then literally Tua, Devontae, Raheem
And I
Mostert,
mean,
Tyreek,
it's not.
Robbie Anderson, and Mike White. Mike White
Yup.
went up. Mike White came in and he hung 14 on him after
Yeah.
the score was 56-20.
Crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, they could have they were doing it all.
What I do want to give Marvin Mims a little bit of love here. He is he is the Broncos' one bright spot. Like, actually, he had 2 receiving touchdowns last week, or maybe he had a receiving and a return touchdown. This
Yeah.
past week, he had another return touchdown. I mean, they were down 56-14 when it happened, but still.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw this, Drew, but Garrett Bowles, he publicly said, "I've been in Denver for 7 years and we've done nothing but suck." Next game, oh my God, the Cowboys suck.
Elite quarterback play.
How do you lose to the Cardinals? I mean, we said earlier, Joshua Dobbs looks really good, like really good, and going up against arguably top 3 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, what was supposed to before Trevon Diggs. But I mean, when you have a guy like Micah Parsons who's supposed to who said he was gonna put pins on he's gonna pin Josh Dobbs to the bulletin board. I don't think he got a sack that game. I mean, I think that's him behind. That might be him behind Josh Dobbs in that picture. I'm not sure.
I don't think it is.
But I don't know if you saw the response to the video of Micah Parsons saying he had someone throw pins at him and he went, "Oh, go Cards." I mean, elite level trolling right there, and he backed it up.
Yeah,
that was crazy. They played a good game, and I mean the Cardinals are always usually a fun team. They have Dennis Gardeck, who's out here top in the league in sacks. Who knows who that is? No,
I'm gonna be honest. I'd never heard of him until 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, I mean Dennis Gardeck looking pretty crazy. Long hair brother, and he is. So yeah, I mean the Cardinals. I don't expect them to win any other games. I mean they might. It's always possible. But like I said earlier, Cowboys fans don't fret. They usually have one bad loss a year. So well, don't hang your heads. I think it's still on the up and up for the Cowboys.
Yeah. All right. Going on to our week 4 predictions for this upcoming week. It's not really predictions. We have the list of all of the games here, and we're just going to pick, and we'll review them next week. Lions vs. Packers.
All right. I'm going to go Lions on this one.
I think the Lions are the better team, offensively and defensively. Yeah. Jared Goff looks really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown looks really good. I'm not sure when David Montgomery returns. I think he's a week-to-week injury, but other than that, the Lions still look good.
But I agree. Lions. All right, so we have the Falcons vs. Jaguars in London. Sorry to any English fans I might have just offended. I'm very sorry. I try my best. Personally, I'll be watching the Toy Story broadcast of this game. I don't know if you saw that exists. I want to see all the different toys in Andy's room playing this game. Anyway, personally, I think I'm gonna see a figurine Calvin Ridley drop a cool 3 touchdowns on his former team. I don't know. Maybe Calvin Ridley will put a little money on the over under of this game.
They'll make sure the Jags pick the spread or cover the spread.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley loves to bet. I'm gonna go Jags.
I might go with a little upset. I think Bijan Robinson might go nuts here. Drake London will finally show up. I think I'm gonna take the Falcons. Potential upset? Would you call it an upset?
I would say it was an upset. I'm gonna keep this next one short and sweet. I'm going Dolphins. I think the Dolphins look good. I think that Josh Allen struggles against good defenses.
Yeah.
So I think I'm keeping it that. I'm going Dolphins, the underdog in this game.
Yeah, I think the Bills looked really good the last 2 weeks, but I think that all comes to a screeching halt. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry,
Um,
Miss Palmer.
uh, the Dolphins just gave you 70 reasons to freak out this week. I think the Dolphins win. In Buffalo too. I think the
Uh
Dolphins win.
Broncos.
Uh,
Don't need. I don't even want to
uh,
talk about it.
if you don't want to die of boredom, don't watch this game. Um,
Yeah. 0-0 tie is my prediction. No, but I'll go Broncos and maybe like a 21-10 game.
I I don't even know, man. I
I
go
think we
Broncos.
should
I go
lose.
Broncos too. Russell Wilson. I hope he shows up eventually.
A game that I think will be pretty darn good this week. Ravens Browns. The Browns looked. I mean, they shut down Derrick Henry last week.
Yeah, they did.
Um,
Final score
and
27-3.
the Ravens do like to run a lot of play action and running and all that jazz. So we're gonna see how that Browns defense reacts. And the Ravens still good O line, but the Browns have Myles Garrett.
Who got
Um,
3.5 sacks last week?
yeah. So the Browns are home.
Hmm.
So that they have that home field advantage. Um, but I believe in Lamar too much. I feel like they're gonna be better last week. They're gonna take their loss and they're gonna be hungry for this week. So I'm gonna go Ravens.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I think the Ravens kind of looked bad recently. I do have them at
Okay.
6 in my power rankings, but I think the Browns have looked really good recently. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns at home.
So Bengals Titans. Titans have the home field advantage, but I think the Bengals are on the little revenge arc.
I think the
Um,
Bengals. I think the Bengals figure out their identity, figure out who they are again. I think the Bengals
we're
go
gonna
into
see
Nashville.
We're gonna see if they can stop Derrick Henry, because at the end of the day, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, and the Bengals defense is the Bengals defense. Not very good.
Yeah,
So that's not going to be looking good for the Bengals with Derrick Henry being how good he usually is. But like I said, I think the Bengals offense takes that step, and they look horrible last night, but I think they take that step up and get
yeah.
the win.
I think the Bengals go into Nashville, figure out their identity once again. Joe Burrow might drop like 3 touchdowns this week. Who knows? Hopefully he
Yeah,
does. He has way too good of a receiving core to not do that, and it's actually inexcusable.
yeah.
Bengals. Choose the Bengals.
So Rams Colts. So Rams come off a tough loss to the Bengals, but they didn't look that bad. Um, and Colts obviously coming off win against the Ravens, a scrappy win, in overtime. The Colts have this should be a good one. Colts have a home field advantage. Personally, I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one. I don't know if Anthony Richardson is gonna play or not. But regardless, if it's Gardner Minshew or if it's Anthony Richardson, I think that the Colts you gotta win.
I honestly, this is a tough game. This is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Rams look somewhat decent. Colts look somewhat decent. You know what? You know what? Minshew mania. Going with the Colts.
All right, I
Going with the
respect it.
Colts. They're coming
Uh,
off a tough win against the Ravens. Going with Minshew mania.
we got the Saints versus the Bucks, NFC South matchup. If both teams could lose, I wish they would. But obviously one team has to win. And I think it's going to be the Buccaneers.
I think Bakey gets it done. Baker Mayfield looked really good this year.
And that's regardless of if Derek Carr starts or not.
Yeah,
I think the Buccaneers
I think the Buccaneers
get the win
go
here.
into. I think the Bucks go into the Superdome, get the win. All right, next game: Commanders versus Eagles. Oh my God, it's going to be a slaughter. And I know we said that last week regarding Cowboys Cardinals. Oh my God, I hope we don't have another horrible prediction like that. Um, Eagles, like I said earlier, they're what are they? Third, third?
I
No,
think I think you put up
They're,
four.
I have them four. I have them four. Fourth on my power rankings. Commanders suck. Oh my God. Drew, sorry. I know you're a UNC fan. Sam Howell blows. Like he's actually horrible.
Is what it is.
Yeah, I think the Eagles defend home field against the really sorry Washington Commanders.
Personally, I think you're hating on the Commanders a little too much. They didn't look very good with against the Bills. But I do think the Commanders in the end of the day are not going to win this game. The Eagles win. The Eagles win it. I do think it'll be a little closer than what you're expecting.
Okay.
Speaking of games that probably won't be very close, but I wish they will be, would be Vikings Panthers. I think the Vikings get in the win column. Both teams are 0-3 at the end of the day, but one is significantly better than the other. Justin Jefferson is going. We don't have a corner. We literally have no corners. We have like Keith Taylor out there. So Jay Jettas is gonna probably put a cool like 200 yards on us. Big Kirkos can stay dripping. And I think that the Vikings absolutely obliterate the Panthers. Who knows? I might get out of this game. We'll see.
Um, like you said for the last game, Panthers versus Eagles, I think it's gonna be closer than you think.
Yeah.
I think both teams have atrocious defenses.
Yeah.
Look actually horrible. But yeah, I think Justin Jefferson gonna hang up 250 on you guys. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Kirko leads the league in yards and touchdowns. So yeah, I think
Steelers
you guys.
Texans.
I take it back. You guys are gonna get killed. 0-4 coming your way. Choo choo on the way.
Well, I predicted that. Steelers Texans. Um, this might be really a pretty good game. I'm excited to see the revamped Texans offense versus the Steelers defense. Because it's gonna be exciting. I think that this is gonna be like the thing is gonna be like a classic Mike Tomlin defensive game. I think the Steelers go out, not embarrass the Texans, but I think that they give them a little reality check, a little calm moment, and give them give them a little loss to even the score for them, make them 2-2.
I'm gonna cut you off here. I think the Texans got this one in the bag. I think there's the young, super young core of the Texans being CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, Damian Pierce, and Nico Collins looks really good actually. Nico Collins and Tank Dell have they've been playing like really good for like the weapons that they have. I mean, I don't want to say weapons, but like for what they have with the Texans. Like the Texans have been they're typically like bottom of the barrel. They're always scraping by for a win, but
Yeah.
I think the Texans defend home field advantage, come out of this with a win. The Steelers offense has looked horrible. A Matt Canada offense looks horrible. Kenny Pickett was supposed to have a good sophomore year in the NFL. He looks really bad. I think the one bright spot on the Steelers offense is George Pickens. And that's if Kenny Pickett can get him the ball.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
Najee's been
they have
really
quality
disappointing.
weapons. They have quality weapons. They have George
Yeah, but I
Pickens.
don't
They
think
have
they
DeAndre
don't.
Johnson, Pat Fryermuth.
Yeah, but like Deontay Johnson's kind of fallen off a cliff recently, and
Calvin
within like the last
Austin.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Texans defend home field advantage. That's my pick, and Drew goes with the Steelers. Raiders, Chargers. The Raiders are not that bad, but I don't think they could keep up with the Chargers.
I agree. I,
Like
I actually I don't fully agree. I think the Raiders are garbage. I think that they're carried by Devontae Adams. The defense isn't horrible, isn't completely garbage, but they do take a pretty big hit when it comes to Chandler Jones not playing. If he
yeah.
was, it'd probably be a little bit different story. That pass rush should be a little bit better. But they still have Max Crosby. but Jimmy G is not. I don't know who thought Jimmy G was the answer. He just isn't. And
He's not better. He's not better than Derek Carr. I don't know what they were
no,
thinking.
no, he's really not. Um, but
Josh Jacobs
I
has
don't
looked
know.
not good.
No, he is not.
Yeah,
But we're gonna see what the Chargers do without Mike Williams. I think they'll be fine. I
they
don't know
have
if I
they have
don't
Joshua
know if
Palmer, so I think they'll be chilling. And Justin Herbert looks great, especially with his 75% completion percentage.
yeah. So I think Chargers will be right, but long term we'll see. You don't get matchups of the Raiders every week. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right, next game, my Patriots going up
Oh
against. They're going into Dallas, into AT&T
yeah,
Stadium.
that's hard.
It is really hard going to Dallas. This is a game of the week though. I okay. You can say all you want. I don't think Mac Jones is the problem. I genuinely don't think Mac Jones is the problem. He's looked,
Yeah.
I mean, decent. He's the reason the Patriots are still in all of these games. Granted,
Yeah, I think the defense.
he didn't look crazy good against the Jets defense, but the Jets have a good defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Patriots defense is really good too. So I think
I
if we could somehow slow down the Cowboys like the Cardinals did last week, I think I think the Patriots could go into Dallas, go into AT&T Stadium, and walk out of there with a win. I think the Patriots could steal one this week. All right,
yeah,
next
but
week,
I think that is
Cardinals, Niners. Cardinals got lucky last week. I think Joshua Dobbs
Niners win
has
this
looked
one.
good. Niners are just too good. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
they're number one in my power rankings for a reason. They haven't given me a reason to think they should be lower than that.
Yeah.
Cardinals are going to Levi Stadium and they're going to lose.
Yeah.
The
So
Niners have too many weapons. They have too many weapons on both sides of the ball.
mhm.
Yeah, Niners win.
For this next matchup, Chiefs Jets. If we had control over the league, if we had the script writers and we turned injuries off, this would probably be a really good matchup. Um, but injuries, like Aaron Rodgers, the most important one,
Yeah,
exist. So I think the Chiefs get kind of embarrass them. I mean, I think that I don't think it'll be a very close game.
yeah.
And I think the Chiefs get the win. Short and sweet.
Zach Wilson is the worst quarterback in the NFL. He sucks, and he continues to prove that he sucks and that he should be a career backup.
Feel bad for Garrett Wilson.
He got drafted second overall, right?
Yeah.
Second or third.
2019 draft. Or 2020
Anyways,
draft.
the throw that fooled everyone, that fooled the entire NFL, that rolling out to the left, off balance throw deep in his pro day at BYU, fooled the entire NFL, fooled me, if I'm being honest. But I'm glad he's in the AFC East. Free wins. The Jets,
Yup.
the Jets have 15 straight losses to the Patriots. They haven't beaten the Patriots in roughly 2,500 days. Monday
Monday Night
Night Football
Football.
matchup.
Who keeps on giving Giants primetime games?
I don't know. The
No,
Giants
like
suck.
they played Sunday night and they played last week. They played Thursday night. Now they're playing Monday night.
They've only played
Mm,
primetime games, I think.
No, they played the Cardinals. That one they played 425 against the Cardinals
Oh,
too.
the battle between the worst teams ever.
Yeah. Seahawks win this game. I do think it's probably a bit closer because Seahawks kind of struggled a bit last week when it comes to like finishing it off in the red zone. They kicked a lot of field goals against the Panthers. Of course, score touchdowns whenever the Panthers score touchdowns. Hate that for my boys. But we're gonna see how this game goes. But I think that the Seahawks will.
Yeah, I think Geno Smith, DK Metcalf. Honestly, I think DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and uh Kenneth Murray. I think they just have.
Kenneth
Or
Walker.
sorry, Kenneth Walker. Sorry.
You're good. You're
Um,
good.
I think they have too many weapons on offense, and the Giants don't have anyone to stop them. Like we're being honest, I think Seahawks go in, they run the show. Giants
Mhm.
defense Giants offense can't keep up with the Seahawks offense. I think Seahawks get the win in prime time. All right, guys, that is it for the second episode of the Stix. We will see you guys next Thursday. Out.